What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Squeeze the Juice. Oh, college football is over. The NFL playoffs are here. A lot has happened in the past week. A lot of changes, a lot of excitement, a lot of ups, a lot of downs on both sides of the ball here.
Yeah. Sure.
Evan, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's been a wild week, obviously, with the national championship and everything. But I've just reached a state of mental bliss, really, where it doesn't really matter that Michigan won.
Go Blue.
It is what it is, and you either let it get to you and let it eat your mental state up, or you can go to work. You can get better, and that's what the Spartans are going to do. So I'm not really worried about Michigan winning. It's cool that you won. That's great, but we got business in East Lansing to take care of, and East Lansing is going to take care of that business. So I'm not really worried. I'm just excited for the future. So yeah, you won, but that's in the past now, and I'm looking straight ahead. And I don't see a winner. I just see
a trophy in the front.
I don't see that winner. All right, I see this is a winner. So that's all I'm going to say. But it was a great game. We both were on Michigan minus 4.5. I shouldn't say it was a great game. It was a great game if you're a Michigan fan. But if you're just a fan of college football watching that, it was not the most entertaining national championship game I think we've had. But at least it was kind of close.
At first, yeah.
Like, it was a one-possession game for most of the second half. Washington just could never answer in an appropriate way. They were always just, okay, you get a stop, but then your offense lets you down. And it was just too much of that. Too many missed throws, some drop passes, missed assignments. It was a very sloppy performance from Washington, and I was expecting a team that was going to give Michigan their best effort, give Michigan everything they had to handle offensively, and they just fell flat. I mean, that's the bottom line, is Penix was flat. His throws did not have the same crispness. They did not have the same velocity that we saw against Texas. It was a disappointing performance for that team, and I think if they play B+, A- ball, that game is going down to the wire. But because I don't think Michigan played their best game.
No, I agree. I disagree.
And they still won by 21 points. And that's what we were kind of saying. Just the margin for error was so small that we liked Michigan minus 4.5, and it hit. Because it really was. I mean, Penix had to be perfect, and he was far from it. It was a D+ performance from him.
The supposed number one offensive line in the country got rick-rolled over. They got bulldozed over. There's literally a clip of their center just getting rolled over when Penix gets sacked.
Yeah.
I mean, dude's getting bull rushed.
It was amazing. Really, it was amazing how physically dominant Michigan was in the trenches all season long. But it was really on display in the playoffs, and it was the difference. Obviously, I mean, it was what separated you from Alabama, and ultimately, it's what won you the championship. Was that offense and defensive line? I mean, it's been the staple of this team for 3 years now, and it finally carried you to the promised land.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about that too. We talked about how Penix has always been sitting in the pocket. He hasn't had to really move or been rattled, so that's why he's able to throw passes like this. And he was getting rattled all game.
But even when he didn't have pressure,
he started making.
He was clearly frazzled enough to where maybe it was Michigan's doing, maybe it wasn't, but there was something off. He wasn't able to make the throws that he had been making. And at the end of the game, I mean, he was limping off the field. I mean, he was holding his side. Like, he was battered and bruised and beaten. I mean, he gave it, like, everything he had physically, but it just... It was lacking. It was lacking. I'm not going to say his effort was lacking, but just the performance clearly was not up to par. But still, proud season for Washington. I don't think anyone gave him a chance to really get to this point.
No, they probably didn't.
I was hating on him all year long.
You were.
And they made it to the national championship game.
Go Huskies.
And I think on a different day, they're in that game to the bitter end. I do. But it was just not their day, and that's okay. I mean, it's not if you're a Washington fan or if you're a member of that team. I mean, obviously, you wish you could replay that game and have it again, and be able to give a better effort on the field in terms of just what you play. I guess in terms of results based or execution wise, but
a lot of long tenured players there.
I know, but it was Michigan's day. It was Michigan's season, and they come out on top. And I have to show some respect because they beat everybody, and their closest game was against OSU, 6 points. And again, it's just those little things that go your way over the course of the season that make you a champion. They went Michigan's way all season long, despite the suspensions, despite the media attention, despite the self-inflicted harm they may have caused themselves in the future going forward with the NCAA violations. None of it matters because you won, and you're not really going to, forget this moment. So, hats off to Michigan. It pains me as a Spartan fan, but like I said, I've matured emotionally. I really, from a genuine place in my heart, it is what it is. We're moving on.
Yeah,
Man.
you're on to
And
the
honestly,
next
shout out to Michigan because I am 35-2 on the year, and that's it. I finished
this
500.
guy.
It took me so long to get back to 500, but we are even. I started from behind the 8 ball
The
all
abyss.
season long, but I'm here, and I'm gonna stay here because we have no more games. 35-2. I will take it considering I started 1-9. Justin, on the other hand, 39-29-2 overall in college football this season. That is phenomenal numbers. And if you want a percentage, just for the people, right? All right. Quick math here: 57% hit rate. That is, you're nearing. Pro better numbers right there. You got to be like 60% for that pro gambling number. 57%, that's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. That is an easy ROI.
Redemption arc from last season.
And yeah, redemption from last year. You did a great job. I just want to say hats off to you.
I appreciate that.
Great picks all year long. You were right way more than I was, and it showed. And
told
you deserve to be here. You deserve this.
We
you
transitioned.
You deserve this.
We transitioned, right? Remember, I told you how feely I was last year, and I just locked into logic this year.
I think I slowly was catching up to that logic-based thinking, but I was a little too in my feelings
at the beginning,
throughout the course of the year,
and
that's okay. At the end of the day, we broke even. All right, I didn't get you.
There is no
wanted,
negatives,
but I'm not
on
negative.
College football.
I'm not negative. That's the big thing.
College football is not negative for us.
But that's really it. Any closing remarks on the college football season? Your team won it all. I'm sure you were giddy and happy, and
it was a great time.
And I can't even imagine what the feeling's like. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to have that feeling. But as a Spartan fan, not our main sport, obviously, basketball is number one.
Must be tough on that end too.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm sure it was just a remarkable feeling as a fan.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty awesome. All the years of you grow up as here you seem to grow up we did grow up. Let's be real. You and I were both Michigan fans at first.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go to school and you locked in. You locked in the Spartan gang, and I respect that because you're not just I would have had trouble if I went to MSU doing that because I just love Michigan too much.
It's easier than you think.
I guess it's different when you're invested all years there, right? It's a whole different ballgame.
As soon as you get to campus, it's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
No, I agree. I will not. I haven't even been to Ann Arbor. Actually, I have been to Ann Arbor. I haven't been truly around Michigan's campus, but
I definitely the city, so it's not a true.
I definitely like East Lansing's way better. I will not disagree on that. It's great. But I don't know. It's great to after all these years, seeing the horrible ages of Rich Rod and Brady Hoke, and just having a normal coach for once. I'll be honest, just a good coach that you can trust. It's a great feeling. He had his up and down years. He danced around the NFL for a couple of years. And he
still might be.
I know. We don't know. Is he going to be? I made this statement today before we close this out. I made this statement to my dad because a little before this, we're finding out that potentially Nick Saban is retiring. Right?
Yep.
I talked to my dad about this, and I talked to another guy I work with today. I was like, if Harbaugh doesn't go to the NFL now, he shouldn't at all. To me, you lock in lifetime to Michigan, or you go to the NFL now.
I think his stock is never going to be higher.
I
Right?
agree,
like
right?
If he doesn't go now, then I don't know when the opportunity is really going to present itself, because you're looking at a guy who is about to be 60 years old.
Mhm.
All right, so he's probably got another like 5 to 10 good years left of him for coaching, realistically. Maybe he's 59. I don't know, but
I know.
still,
Yeah, he's about to be 60.
he's going to be 60 very soon here, and realistically, how many more years is he going to be coaching? You're probably looking at the 5 to 10 year window, like I said.
Absolutely.
So if it's not now, when? I mean, Saban just retired. Saban's like 71, 72. So
he wants to enjoy some of his retirement life.
Right, and with the changing landscape of college football, I think coaches are getting younger. You have to be a little bit more savvy with NIL. You have to be constantly recruiting and constantly in the transfer portal. I mean, Michigan, from an institutional standpoint, isn't the easiest to get transfers in. So you have that coupled with the fact that their NIL deals aren't robust as some other ones are. So to me, it makes a ton of sense for Jim. Plus the pending, NCAA investigation, the fallout from that, it makes sense for him to go now.
And he hates the NCAA.
Exactly. So if it's not now, then I just think he stays till he says I'm good to go. Like I'm just gonna.
I know, yeah, but that's my statement.
But
I feel
also,
like
you could leave a champion. You could leave with your legacy permanently, like sealed at Michigan.
As a Michigan
nothing
man.
nothing else that happens after this would impact your legacy because you won it all. So for me, like it's time you give it another 5 years in the NFL, see if you can win the Super Bowl, and after that, go enjoy retirement and your wife, family,
your bro,
and your brother too. Yeah, just enjoy
go enjoy the
life after that. Like you're out of the public sphere, you get to just relax, golf, go to the beach, whatever you want to do.
You won a championship, so like you don't feel like you
intact,
no
regret. No regret. Nothing keeping you up at night saying, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. No. You're able to accomplish everything that you could accomplish, and you just be happy.
Can't disagree. But yeah.
But that's on him.
I think he's going.
I think he's going too.
Yeah.
I'd be very shocked if he came back to Michigan.
My debate today was I was looking at who replacements would be.
Probably Sharon Moore.
That's what they think. I think you're sleeping on Jesse Minter. Sharon Moore is just, I don't know. It's so...
Well, just because he took over, I feel like
I know.
It makes sense to just do the internal replacement because...
Yeah. I don't want to... I wouldn't want... I logically wouldn't want to hire anyone outside. I feel like you promote more Minter, but...
I like Minter a lot. I don't think he'd stay if he was the DC for Sharon.
I agree. I think
he'll get an NFL job too. I think.
Really?
I mean, if Jim took over a team, wouldn't shock me if he followed Jim to the NFL. I mean, I'm just saying.
Leave Sharon Moore on the dust.
Well, Sharon would probably say, "I want the Michigan job."
That's true.
So we'll see. A lot to play out. We're obviously all speculation right now, so we really have no idea what's happening. But it's fun to have a dialogue about, and obviously moving forward as the NFL season concludes and as the offseason drama rises and builds up, Jim's name is certainly going to be in the coaching cycles, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this offseason.
I know.
First, we have the playoffs. They are locked in. We got all wild card games picked for you, and we cannot wait to get into them because it's going to be an awesome weekend.
Let us recap the last season, or the last week of the season.
Right. How could I forget? Last week, the weirdest week of the year always because no one's playing, but like you also have a couple of games that mean everything, so it's weird. But I was 3-2 on the week. I finished the regular season 50, 40, and 5 overall. Justin was 2-3 on the week, so he's 44, 43, and 5 overall. Let's get into the games. Colts, Texans. We went with the home team, the Colts, but Stroud is just that guy, and I didn't want to doubt him, and I felt dirty doing it, and he proved me wrong once again. I love my boy Stroud, but the Colts had a chance, and they drop it on the 4th and 1.
I felt bad for that guy, but why was he in the game?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you got to make the play, but why Taylor's not in there, I don't know. Ultimately, though, I'm really happy that Stroud and the Texans are in the postseason. I think that game versus the Browns is going to be awesome. So I'm excited for that one. I did want to see, like, a part of me wanted to see Minshew in there as well, but only one team can make it. And in his rookie year, and in DeMeco Ryans' first year as a coach, NFC or AFC South champions. That's crazy.
And that's also without his arguably top receiver half the season.
Tank Dell.
Yeah. I mean, he still got great, receivers in Nico Collins and, Mechie and, Schultz, tight end. So
Robert Woods.
Yeah, forget
Noah
about
Brown.
I always forget about the Robert Woods.
Noah Brown's really been the wide receiver 3. He's had a great year. But shout out to Stroud, man. He's sensational. Game 2, the streak is over. The Jets deliver the Patriot fans a major blessing, ending the 15-game losing streak and winning in Foxborough. What are the ramifications of this win? The Patriots lock themselves in with the number 3 pick, now with the chance to potentially draft their next franchise quarterback. On the other hand, the Jets really had nothing to play for in that game.
Just
other than pride.
Pride and trying to beat the streak.
Trying to beat the streak. But now they'll have the, I believe, 10th pick going forward with Rodgers. And they get to keep that pick because Rodgers was hurt all year long. If he, I believe, played 75% of the games, that first rounder would have went to Green Bay. It'll stay a second-round pick. And now the Jets have a top 10 pick to pair with Aaron Rodgers. Could they potentially get a Malik Neighbors, a Roma Dunza? We will see. So
Wilson's not happy.
Yeah, so we're going to see maybe even an offensive lineman because they certainly need one. So there's going to be a lot of options for the Jets, but I think they're going to be good going forward, and I really believe in Robert Saleh. Shout out to the Jets, man.
I agree. A lot of people talked about how, should he be on the hot seat? Should he be done? I think there's too much that has gone weirdly wrong.
He's had no support at all.
No.
And his defense, number 1 ranked defense per PFF.
And he's a defensive head coach.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like you just got to figure the offense out, right? You get this big name, right? And you have some decent weapons, and what happens, He's gone. You have to go back to the guy that's ruined your team for the past couple of years.
Yeah, he didn't draft Zach Wilson.
No.
So, I mean, it's not his fault that Zach Wilson just hasn't lived up to the the number 2 overall pick expectation. Game 3, the Lions. We had them at -3.5. That hit. Nothing really crazy about that game. It felt like to me, it just felt like the Vikings wouldn't want to go away. They were playing so prideful.
Jefferson just kept balling.
Right. It was crazy. But the Lions win by 10. Nice little cover for us. The number just felt way too small, but whatever. We'll talk more about the Lions going forward. Bears-Packers, that was a big one. The Packers certainly laid down the hammer, and they punched their ticket. We were on Bears +3. Justin Fields, his future is in major question. We were talking pre-show what would happen with him. Obviously, as the draft and the idea of trading Fields or taking Caleb at number 1 become a little bit more apparent, we'll get into that a little bit more, but I'm kind of shocked at how bad the Bears played. I thought they would be in it. I thought they would be playing inspired, a lot like the Lions last season, but kind of came out flat. And
they're not the Lions.
They're not the Lions. They're just not. They aren't built like that, unfortunately. But the last game I think is the biggest one. Bills Dolphins. We were on Bills -3. That hit. Shout out to Buffalo, man, and Josh Allen. This team was getting memed, mocked. And I mean, rightfully so. They were 6-6. They were not playing good football at all. They put together a win streak and a plan and a formula with Joe Brady. They started to run the ball a little bit more. This is a team that I would be very nervous to play, and they're the 2 seed now. So if it is anyone but Baltimore, you're going to head up to Buffalo in probably 10 inches of snow to take on this team. I just wouldn't want to do that right now. The way they're playing, they're my Super Bowl pick in the AFC. I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to keep on it. I think the Bills are that team, and this is their year. I'm not sure if they win it all, but I think they get there, and I'm confident with that pick. But that was Week 18. Now we get Wild Card Weekend, so let us
begin. The big one to kick it off, honestly.
Yeah.
Flacco
great
and
game.
the Browns head to Houston. The ultra veteran carrying one of the low teams that are now high in the NFL versus the true rookie and a rising organization.
Yeah. So this is crazy.
By the way, Browns are favored on the road, -2.5.
This is crazy because I think, and I'm going to change up the perspective here, I think if you're Baltimore, you are praying that Houston wins this game. You are praying that they win. And you might be saying, well, I mean, it's Joe Flacco versus CJ Stroud. Wouldn't you want Flacco instead of Stroud? But here's the deal. This is Stroud's first playoff game ever, obviously. Prime time. I know he's at home, and trust me, I've seen Stroud ball out in prime time. But this game, and he did it last week, but this game is going to have so much intensity and so much pressure. On the other side of the ball, I got a Kevin Stefanski guy who's been in this situation before. He's gotten the Browns deep in the postseason. And Joe Flacco, who's won a Super Bowl. I just feel like there's so much experience on the other side of the field. And truthfully, I don't want to doubt Stroud again, but I just think the Browns with that defense and with the experience they have, it just feels like, all right, Houston, you got spoiled a little bit this year. It wasn't supposed to be this good.
You didn't win out. You won outright in a way because other guys choked.
Right. So, I mean, as much as I love Stroud and I love this team going forward, I think Houston is in a great spot. I'm going to take Cleveland here to win this game and cover the -2.5, only because of that experience, that defense. And really, I think this team is legit. I think they can beat Baltimore. I think they can do it. And I'm going to ride with the Browns. I believe in Joe Flacco and this team.
If only they had Nick Chubb, man.
I know. It's crazy.
I mean, they're still getting it done, but man.
They're getting it done. But they're just playing inspired ball, and I love to see it. So I'm going to go with the Brownies.
It's going to be such an interesting game. It's just going to be crazy to see, right? The Texans fans, after all they've been through over the years, with the hype of Deshaun, and now where the man left to is his team is returning.
Isn't it crazy?
Deshaun will be on the bench for this one. Yeah. But man, for him to return, nothing would be more satisfying for the Texans than to win this game.
I would agree.
But unfortunately, it isn't against Watson. But still, they'd still feel that it is, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because he is technically the quarterback of that team. DeMeco Ryans, great defensive coordinator, great defensive-minded head coach. Will he be able to make up a well-established defense against, a veteran like Flacco and how well he's playing right now? It's hard to look at. It's hard to figure out. And especially that one thing you have mentioned more than anyone this year is how good and how not to sleep on that Browns defense.
It's insane.
It's insane, and I feel like in most people's eyes, even mine at the beginning of the season, underrated.
Yeah, Jim Schwartz has done a great job as the DC. It's deep at every level, and it hasn't been Myles Garrett. It hasn't been his best year, but I think you're just seeing his impact at every level. Like, he is just a beast, and you couple that with their great run defense, tough to pass on too. There's been a couple of games here and there where the defense has gotten kind of blown out a little bit, but you find yourself in a shootout every now and then. I mean, could this be one of those games? I doubt it. I feel like the pressure is going to be a little intense. I don't think you're going to see like the dynamic offense going at it here, but you're right, man. I mean, this defense is no joke, and they give. They give any QB
no run for them.
Just a miserable time. I mean, they're that's how good they are.
The AFC North is brutal, man. It's a brutal division.
It is brutal.
But I agree. Experience and just the ability of that defense. Like, yes, it's Stroud may not be the pressure that's on him, but the pressure of Myles Garrett running around that corner is going to be a problem. Yeah. And he's not, he hasn't faced a D as certain as this one and as strong as this one. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm on Browns with you.
Brownies.
It's a good number.
Yeah. I mean, we get the hook here So a field goal would get us the dub, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I do just fear just Stroud being this one-of-one rookie QB where he just finds a way to get it done. And really, I don't want to pick against Stroud because I think he is. And I was going through this over the weekend. I think he's already a top 7 QB in the NFL.
Mm.
I mean, I was ranking him. I was like, dude's top 7, like without a doubt, in my mind at least. So, I mean, when you have an elite quarterback like that, I mean, throw the number out the window, anything can happen. And you could easily just see Stroud take over this game. So that's my biggest concern. But just on paper, the teams, the situation, it leads me to the Brownies.
I'd have to do a count. I'd have to think. It's almost that time.
It is almost that time, but like off the top of my head, I said Josh Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar, although I'm being gracious.
Yeah. Burrow.
Burrow, and then
Stafford. I'm just thinking around the league. Kyler.
No.
Not Brock, not Geno, not O'Connell. We did Mahomes, you did Herbert, not Russ. You have Stroud there, not Minshew, not A-Rich, not Trevor Lawrence. No, not right now. Who else is there? Not Derek Carr, not Baker, not Bryce.
Maybe it's just 6. I just call it a day. He's 6. I don't even know. That's how
because Aaron Rodgers, Tua, Mac Jones, Goff, Kirk Cousins,
No.
Jordan Love, Justin Fields.
Maybe I Dak, but
Oh yeah, Dak, not
maybe Dak.
Daniel Jones.
That's the thing. It's
Sam
like okay,
Howell.
Stroud, Dak, like that's where
Stroud. I think
is
Stroud's
already.
a better quarterback than Dak.
So yeah, like, top 7, top 6, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. That's
I think
Stroud.
I think Stroud's a better quarterback than Tua.
Probably. Oh yeah, well yeah. So I mean, you have an elite quarterback in Houston, so anything can happen. But
is he better than? If he's playing his best ball, is he better than Deshaun Watson?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I haven't seen Deshaun Watson play.
He hasn't been the same in years. That's the problem because he was so good at first.
In years,
him and D-Hop, man,
it was special.
Well, that's game 1. On to the next.
We got 5 more.
All right, game 2. The Dolphins head to Kansas City. Kansas City favored by 4 at home. It is going to be cold. Wind chill supposed to be -7. Potential snow.
Yeah.
I mean, is this just going to be an ugly snow game? Is that what's going to happen here? Could it just be who can get in the end zone at some point or kick a field goal?
You know, this is going to be a horrible game in terms of playing conditions. I mean, you already broke it down. It's going to be like -1 degrees or 0 degrees at game time. So it's going to be freezing. And I look at Miami, who have been in Miami all year long. That's not ideal for a warm weather team. The number's sitting at 4. It's interesting because I do feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game.
I agree.
So there is the potential there for just a field goal win for the Chiefs. But when I look at these two teams, I don't really love the form of either right now, and that makes this game so intriguing. I don't think Kansas City's playing good. I don't think Miami's playing good. So when I have two teams that are playing poorly, what gives? When am I going to see one team look the part? And I think it's easy to fall back on the Chiefs saying, oh, they won the Super Bowl. They're going to be at home. They have Mahomes. But this run game for Miami is what they should lean on in this one. I liked what the Raiders did against the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Zamir White had a big day. They ran the football. They didn't complete a pass after the first quarter. I know they want to throw the football. I know Mike McDaniel wants to let Tua sling it. But I think you have to be smart about this one. Poor weather. I don't think you have a cold weather QB in Tua, but you have a great run game. And Mostert, Achane, and even Jeff Wilson from time to time, they can get it done on the ground. You trust this offensive line. You trust the running backs. And screw it, I'm going to go Dolphins +4. I'm going to fall into the trap once again. I will keep taking the Dolphins when I probably shouldn't. because I think this Chiefs team is done. I think they're cooked. I don't believe in them at all. And quite frankly, they've given me no reason to back them in this one. Even though I'm taking a team that hasn't beaten anyone and that can't go on the road and get a win, I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one. I am. I think they get it done on the road. And if they don't, I think they at least cover the 4. So I'm going to take the Fins.
That's my problem. That this is -4. Because I agree, this is easily can walk into a field goal game. And that's my problem. Because I think the Chiefs will win. But it's... I don't think it's going to be by a touchdown or more.
I mean, this offense is not...
It hasn't been what it is. It's a condition.
Capable of doing that. Again.
They got the... See, it's who's going to trust the run game more. You know? Pacheco, McKinnon versus A-Chain and Mostert. Or Mostert. Whatever. Mostert. That means it. I had a crazy year. Man, everything's telling me Chiefs, but in the back of my mind, it's just like, oh, the field goal. Can they do it? Can they cover?
I don't know.
This is so stressful. I hate this game.
I mean, I'm rolling with the Dolphins, but it's my least confident play.
I know, and you hit the Dolphins, a couple weeks ago, and they got walloped by the Ravens.
I know. I faded them last week, too, against the Bills.
Yeah, but that was we knew that was going to be pretty much happening.
So I hate this. I hate this for us, but it is what it is.
The thing is, I think the Chiefs are going to win, but they're going to just win by 3.
I mean... In my opinion, if you think the Chiefs are going to win, take the Chiefs.
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Because I feel like you'll be more upset with yourself if the Dolphins get blown out in this one, or if the Chiefs cover the 4 and you said, I'm taking the Dolphins.
Or they're about...
Because you thought the Chiefs were going to win the
Or they could just kick a field goal and cover, and it blows to the side. In the snow.
It's
tough.
I just feel like you got to stick with your gut here.
Yeah, I got to trust it right now. I really think this is going to be it's just going to be such a bad game, though.
I'm not looking forward to it. I really am not.
At least it's not the prime time. Oh, no, it is. It's Saturday night prime time. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be even colder at night.
Literally.
Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be miserable.
It's going to be so bad. Oh. Those poor teams that have to... at least Tampa Bay gets to be at home for a game. Good for them. I don't know. There's a lot going on. Well, we're splitting one. Yeah, Rock one, split one. On to game 2 or 3. This is such a weird one. The Steelers head to Buffalo. Bills favored at home by 10. Now... Believe it or not, it is that, well, I guess it's fair. It's going to be the next day. It's going to be 1 o'clock on Sunday. Temperature expected to be 24 degrees. Winds probably in the teens. Some snow in Buffalo. But the Steelers aren't fazed by weather, you know? But it's the quality of the team. We got Mason Rudolph, playing back in QB1. The Bills have been playing well, though. The Steelers are without T.J. Watt. A big loss, a big hurt there, especially in a playoff game, especially with a quarterback like Josh Allen running around.
Yep.
It's very tough, you know. This could easily be like, hey, you know, it's Bills because they're hot, they're at home, it's the right play. But could they be up 14 and then you have a random crap touchdown out of nowhere, right?
Right.
So it's very up and down.
So I believe since 2010, double-digit road underdogs are 3-12 against the spread.
Wow.
Last year we had 2, I believe. You had the Niners in Seattle. I believe the Niners blew out the Seahawks. And then you had Miami in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that one went
Skylar
crazy.
Thompson actually kept it close. So I look at this game and I'm like, okay, well, I got another double-digit road underdog. I got a Buffalo team that's red hot, and I got a Steelers team that's starting Mason Rudolph. I know this is a prideful Steelers team, But I need a bomb dropped on them. And I'm so sick of this team. They are not a playoff team. They should not be here. And they're going to look the part because they're going to get destroyed by the Bills. Bills minus 10. Lock it in. Might be my favorite play of the week. I am on the Bills big time in this one. The Steelers need to get sent into intergalactic orbit. I'm done. Bills minus the 10.
Shout out you, Drew. I'll be honest. My mind's been on Buffalo all week. I always think, sprinkle in that potential backdoor, but this is the playoffs. This is Buffalo. This is cold. This is prime time. It is playoff time. Josh Allen knows what's up. Mason Rudolph only knows down. So, Bills Mafia, let's ride.
Let's do it. All right.
They're playing ball, right ball at the right time.
We're smashing tables. That's what we're doing.
We're just like, and that's it. Just oh, what a closeout to a show that'd be. Well, on to game 4. This is my least favorite game.
To pick?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I'll be honest with you.
I think this is an easy one.
Green Bay, vicious Green Bay, a haunting pass to the Cowboys, heads to Dallas. Dallas favored at home by 7.5.
Yep.
And man, you have Brett Favre, you have Aaron Rodgers, and is now Jordan Love the guy? It might seem like that right now. They were beating his door down for the first couple weeks. They're like, this guy's a joke. I don't think he's the future. And what does he do? Start playing better. Now they're in the playoffs. It's a lot of questions. Obviously, it's only, year 2 for him as starter? Or no, it's year 1 for his starter, right?
Starter, but he's been in the league for 4 years now.
Yeah. So he's got he's got some mileage under him, but not enough playing time. But, I mean, it's an interesting thing. But it's still a not top-tier Green Bay team. It's not Aaron Rodgers' team.
I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. I don't think the Packers are a bad football team. So when I say this, don't think of it as me trashing the Packers. I think the Packers are actually pretty good. But they are not rolling into Arlington and hanging with this Cowboys team at all. This is going to be a Mike McCarthy slaughter fest.
Job on the line.
He is going to want to prove a point against his former team. And, the storylines in the NFC especially, they have been built perfectly. You can't script it any better. Wink, wink at the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas rolls in this one. I think they do what Buffalo is going to do. I think they drop a bomb. I do. I don't see Green Bay competing in this one at all, unfortunately. And it's not because of their talent or their coaching or their just whatever the case may be. I just think you're getting Dallas at home with your former coach who is going to want to prove a point. I just think that's a recipe for disaster. I think you're walking into a nightmare. So I'm going to take Dallas minus 7.5. I think it's
walking into a sneak attack.
I think it's just going to be one of those games where Dallas kind of manhandles the road team coming in. The Lions really one of the only teams to hang with Dallas at home this year. Other than that, they average like 40 points a game. I know this Green Bay defense is good, but I'm just not convinced for this playoff game. I think Green Bay is happy to be here, and I think they got a lot of things to be excited about going forward, but I'm not convinced they stay in this one at all. So Dallas minus the 7.5 is my pick.
I have no explanation for this game. I have no breakdown or anything because I was literally just waiting to listen on your thoughts because I just didn't.
Because I'm such an intellectual.
Yes. I just didn't have any thoughts in this game. Sure. I just didn't like it. There's nothing I loved about it. Arguably, or you could argue that this is the anti-Lions game right here, from history, but also kind of an original crew right here with these two teams. I'm going Dallas. Just gotta trust that. They're gonna overpower. Plain and simple. Just gotta trust that it'll overpower, and Jordan Love we'll see what he's about. It's like Justin Fields trying to beat Green Bay last week. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Probably not, but
Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah. I don't know. It's just do you like the number? Is it an interesting number to you? Do you think it should be higher, lower?
You know what? The public is on Green Bay. I think the number is kind of telling you pick Dallas, though. That's the way I see it. It's like 7.5. I feel like Dallas should be more like 8.5, 9. So I think you're getting a bit of a favorable number here. And I think the people are saying, well, this Green Bay team is kind of hot. Like, Jordan Love's playing good ball, back-to-back NFC Player of the Week.
This is not Bills hot.
Yeah, but I don't know. The people like Green Bay. I like Dallas.
Well, let's go. Cowboys. So far, we're only split on Un. Which one is it? It's the Dolphins Chiefs. Oh, yeah.
Probably won't be split here either.
Game 5. Oh, Stafford and the Rams.
He's back.
Head to Detroit for Detroit's first home playoff game in 30 years.
It's just cinema.
First home game ever, playoff game at Ford Field.
And it's against Stafford, who couldn't get it done in Detroit for 12 years. So that's incredible.
Detroit favored by 3 at home, and man, what a game it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a really good game. I do. I think this is a very good Rams team. They're playing very good ball. I mean, if they're not...
They got Bills vibes, honestly.
They got Bills vibes. I mean, they're playing a lot like the Lions at the end of last season. I believe they won 7 of 8. Their only loss was against the Ravens. So this is a feisty, fiery Rams team.
Which they probably
Stafford is
won.
healthy. Puka and Kupp are playing great. So it's really going to be a tough test for this Lions defense. 74% of the bets are on the Rams per the Action Network. So the public loves the Rams. But this number opened up at 3.5, I'm pretty sure.
Did it? I haven't not seen it not be 3.
Only gone down 0.5 point. So, I mean, while the number is getting bet heavily by the public, Vegas is telling you, we kind of like Detroit at -3. And I'll be honest with you, I like Detroit -3 too. I think this is a Jared Goff game. He's going to have to play his best ball, but you know what? He's saying all the right things right now. It's not about what happened in LA. I want to win a playoff game for the city of Detroit. I want to win this game so badly for the city. And I think he gets it. I think this team gets it. And the injury concerns with Laporta are there. I would love to be able to say right here, right now, he's going to play, but we just don't know. He kind of had the Kelsey injury from week 1. So we have to just kind of wait it out and see what happens with his status, which is going to really impact the number one way or another, I think. If he's playing, I think you'll get more Lions bets. If he's not playing, I think you'll see the number go down to like 2.5. But I'm on the Lions, man. I think they get it done. I know 30 years since they've had a playoff game won. It's been 30 years since it's been 32 years since they had a playoff game won. I think it's been 30 years since they actually hosted a playoff game. So this is a surreal moment if you're a Lions fan, and I just do not see the Rams walking into Ford Field, taking our lunch money, and Stafford is the one smiling. I cannot
with those
see
fake teeth.
I cannot see that happening, and I refuse to see it happen. Give me the boys, give me the Lions, -3. This is our moment. We head to Dallas next week, and we take care of business again.
So and then we head to the Bay.
And then we head to the Bay and probably lose. But guess what? In the here and now, we're alive, we're well, and we're healthy, and we're going to take on the Rams, and we're going to smash them. Give me the Lions, man, -3.
Oh, man. This is such a tough pick, man. It's tough. The boys are right there. The Lions, but
you
man,
get the
that +3 with the Rams though.
I don't know, man.
Stafford and those big fancy fake teeth he's got now, just smiling at you. His jersey's banned from the stadium.
Cover it up with JMO.
I think the worst thing you could do as a Lions fan, which I saw one guy, we saw him at training camp, no shirt underneath. He was wearing a Rams Stafford jersey to training camp, and I was like, "Who is this guy? You can't be doing that, man."
Kick him out.
Of all jerseys you could wear, it's one thing to wear a Lions Stafford jersey, right? But
there's people like that.
Their
insane.
love for Stafford.
They're delirious. They're delirious. They
It's
are
no more.
insane.
He got his ring. You owe him nothing.
You have no connection with Stafford other than the years he spent here. But those years are gone. Like, you have had Goff for 3 years now.
He didn't win a playoff game.
He didn't win a playoff game. He didn't win the division. He didn't even get you to the playoffs in back-to-back years. It was, 3 times? All in separate seasons? There was never any consistency? You had a couple of blips on the radar? No. You owe him nothing. And I like Matthew Stafford. I love Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, he's great.
But he's not here anymore. He's been gone for 3 years. Get over it. Like, come on. It's ridiculous.
People just felt like they had to live through them. It's like, no, the Lions are here and they're now, and they're hosting home. Believe in them. And, man, I do want to really, 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 really take the Rams. But I'm not gonna. I'm going to believe. I'm going to have the faith.
You know what? If you're going to take the Rams, take the Rams.
No.
Take the Rams if you want to take the Rams. I'll stand on business.
I just want to enjoy it, so I'm taking the Lions.
All right.
I want to enjoy it. I want to not.
All right. You know, what makes you fearful of this game? I mean, other than the fact that our defense is kind of
Our secondary.
our defense is kind of bad.
Our secondary is plain and simple. Stafford knows how to throw in that building. He knows how to throw well, and he has 2 great receivers that can get it done.
I don't care.
See, the Vikings had Jordan Addison was out, right? And they only had Jettis.
He was healthy last week.
Was he? Man, I did not pay attention that well in the last week's game.
No.
You can see where my head was at. Still, man. For Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua is having an insane year. I don't know. To me, like, all right, so do we know if James Houston's going to play?
Probably not.
Probably not. CeeDee's back, though.
JMO will be back. Ali McNeil was back last week, too.
So we're going to be without Houston and possibly Laporta. So the boys got to lock in. That secondary's got to be locked down. It doesn't matter what's going on.
Yeah.
The mentality, to me, needs to be like Michigan. You can't let the big play happen. And you got to rush the front.
We're gonna win, dude. We're gonna win.
I hope so, man.
It's gonna be amazing.
This is all I asked for because I want to see a playoff win. I know everyone's like, I talk, the season. We won the division, right? To me, I got to see a playoff win. I'm not upset with the season at all.
We're getting,
but I need to see the playoff win.
We're getting at least a playoff win this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last game.
Last game.
Best game? No, but interesting game.
Baker.
Philly now, with their fumbling of the end of the season, they head now on the road to Tampa. Bucks host the Eagles. Eagles favored on the road by 3, and let me tell you, Matt Patricia and that defense ain't looking good, and Bake has been cooking lately.
9-0 win over the Panthers last week.
I know.
Scary.
Aside from that game,
a little scary, but
he's been playing well.
Everyone's been the Eagles, 60% per the Action Network on Philly. So you have the championship pedigree from last season. You have obviously the better quarterback in Jalen Hurts, but he kind of got hurt in that game against the Giants. A little dislocated finger.
He's been playing
AJ Brown hurt himself too. So they're banged up right now, and their defense couldn't cover me. So, I mean, to me, this is just an easy Bucs spot. I'm not sure if they win, but you're giving me a field goal. I'm taking the home team, hoping that they at least push, but pretty confident that they can actually win this game. Like, I do not believe in the Eagles whatsoever. I think they're completely fried. And to me, they look a lot like the past Arizona Cardinal teams that we've seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hot start, look good out of the gate, but then something happens where you just completely fall off the radar, and you're not the same team you were back in September, October. This team started 10-1, and now they finished 11-6. That's unheard of.
The 2 Super Bowl teams are looking like shells of themselves.
They are
at this time,
and I'm just not going to trust them this week. And they might prove me wrong. I might fall flat on my face here, but I'm going to just look at the body of work and say, you know what? The Buccaneers right now, they're playing better football than the Eagles. And that's the bottom line for me. So I'm taking Baker and the boys plus the 3. And the redemption arc continues for the Bake Show. So give me the Bucks and give me the Bake. And I'm done.
He's cooking. You know what? I got 2 words for you. You ready?
Let me hear him.
Go Bucks.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. No love last year for the Bake Show. Yes, he was in LA, but now he's carried a team, new organization to the playoffs. And that's what it's about. Another division win for the Buccaneers. And he might be looking at a long-term contract. Maybe not long-term, but maybe like a 2-3 year deal.
I can see that easily.
You know, a nice
Some
long-term
team
for him.
options, sure, why not?
The future's looking like it's cooking. Shout out the Bake Show.
Shout out the Big Show. And let's recap these games for you.
Absolutely.
Our picks here. We're going to start game 1 Saturday afternoon. The Brownies head to Houston to take on the Wonder Kid, CJ Stroud. But me and Justin are fading him, unfortunately. We're on the Browns minus the 2.5. Elite Flacco is going to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2, Saturday night, 0 degrees. Dolphins head to the Chiefs. It's going to be insane.
Snowhead Stadium.
It's going to be an insane sight to see, I'm sure. But I'm on the Fins plus the 4, and Justin is on the Fins minus the 4. Or I'm sorry, he's on the Chiefs minus the 4.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's on the Chiefs minus the 4. It's going to be
a brutal
sight
game.
to see.
I honestly won't be mad if the Dolphins win because I know they'll get crushed next round and the Chiefs are out. So
it'd be,
let's be real.
It'd be perfect. Game 3, Pittsburgh, the annoying Steelers. They won't go away. They are cockroaches. They are heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills. But me and Justin are on the Bills minus the 10. Just take the better team.
No big.
Game 4, Packers heading to Dallas to take on the boys. And we are on Dallas minus 7.5. We think a bomb is getting dropped.
McCarthy time.
Game number 5. He's back. Matthew Stafford makes his return to Detroit to take on Goff, who goes against his former team, the team he took to the Super Bowl, and we're on the Lions minus the 3. Dan Campbell gets his first playoff win as a head coach, and this team gets their first playoff win in 32 damn years. It's going to be a sight to see.
The streets are going to bleed blue. Blue Kool-Aid everywhere.
Yes, they are. You can bet on that. And then game number 6, Bake Show. They welcome Philly, and we're on the Baker boys. The Bucks plus the 3. Go Bucks all day long. Nothing more can be said. This team is getting it done, and Philly is cooked. That's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
The Bake Show's cooking up a bird tonight, y'all.
He is. It's going to be a nice little dinner for Baker after that.
I'll tell you what, man. Seeing like, you know, if Lions win, man, Chiefs lose, Eagles lose. Man, what a time to be alive.
It's going to be awesome.
Just to see those teams. I don't know. It'd just be great. It'd just be great.
I'm hoping for a great weekend. The wild card weekend is always awesome. I think the divisionals where you get the best games, but this should be so much fun. These matchups are great. The storylines are fantastic.
Also different games than kind of we're used to in recent past, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
With the Browns there, the Texans there, you know?
Yeah, sure. I mean...
A different Bucks team there, you know?
Who would have thought the Packers were going to be a wild card team?
I didn't.
I mean, I said maybe, but I wasn't really confident.
Well, you picked them to win the sleeper of the division.
Yeah.
I said the Vikings. Nobody said the Bears. No. We knew. We'll be going over those in a couple weeks. But
we got receipts.
Plus a new QB guru list coming soon.
It's going to be my toughest one yet, and I've only had one so far.
I know. It's crazy. There's a lot of new adds to it, right? Injuries, transitions, the way teams have played this year. There's a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
So look out for Evan's QB list coming at the end of this month. Normally we do it before the Super Bowl, I think. I think we did it last year. And during Pro Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
That's what we did, during Pro Bowl weekend. So look out for that. And enjoy. College football's over. NFL playoffs begin. And just soak it in, right? It's bittersweet, but football's so great, you know? We hate to see it leave soon. But
I know it's said like the regular season is over, but we are now getting into like the best time of the year, playoff football.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Sing it out.
When CJ Stroud throwing bombs and Joe Flacco is back, the Bills are now here. We'll see you next time. Peace.